What's going on? This is the main event, Monster Folk, and you're watching Count It Out, Mike and Tyler.
Well, we are live, pals, in the car, on the way home from Crossbody Pro Wrestling. My name is Tyler, and I got Wilson beside me on the wheel. I can't see you. Put up the devil horns, Wilson. In the back seat, we got Mojito Mike. Gentlemen.
I'm a pop sensation.
Ralphie, get off the stage, sweetheart. We have been listening to the Bloodhound Gang, apparently. We are just coming home from Crossbody Pro Wrestling. We got some time to kill, and we are just so pumped up after this show that we decided we want to do a little post-show recap here. Let's start with you, Mike. This was all three of us actually, our first crossbody show. What's your overall impression of everything?
Yeah, I broke my crossbody cherry tonight, and I'm so glad we did. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I didn't know what to expect tonight. We've never been to a crossbody show. We've seen them. There are shows online, but you can never tell, because of production values and stuff like that, you can never tell exactly what kind of environment you're getting into. So I was excited, but not like thrilled to be there. Holy shit, am I ever glad we went. This is one of the best shows we've seen in a long time. And that says something compared to considering what we see at Barrie every month. That show was so fucking fun.
Yeah, I had a blast at it. I thought from top to bottom, every match delivered. Wilson, what do you think, man? Will you have a great time at the show or what?
I think it was a great time. I think the everyone there just popped and everything was just fun. Like, it was just entertaining, and I think we were all just blown away and just had a great time.
Yeah, I was really impressed. A couple people I got to see work live for the first time ever. We're going to run down maybe some of the matches. I don't think we got to go match by match and do a whole breakdown.
Let's go with the high points, which is going to be 90% of the show. But if we at least talk about our favorite parts, that'll take up the majority of this recording.
Well, let's start right at the beginning with the opening match, and it's the tag team title match. Millennial Falcon going up against the champions. They had Del Bruno and I believe Steve Brown. Was that the team?
Kingpin Super Steve Brown, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I've only got to see Steve Brown work once before. I love him, man. I thought he was great. I love this team of Del Bruno and Steve. I think that they are fantastic. I love the big man and the worker. It reminds me of like Owen and Yoko. Not that Steve is anywhere near as big as Yoko, and very agile as Steve also, I must say.
But you can even talk about Brett and Anvil in that regard.
Yeah, 100%. I've just always been a fan of that dynamic. I want to take the lead on this one, and I want to throw it to you, Wilson. For me, I am a tag team wrestling guy. You guys all know that from listening to our show. This was a textbook, fantastic tag team match. I got to speak with Del Bruno a little bit after, and I told him this to his face. I said, you guys did all the little things, and both these teams did as well. Millennial Falcon, Robbie Cosmo, and Jax Williams, I believe, is their names. Fantastic guys as well. Both these guys worked a classic tag team style, from the little things like holding the tag rope to the way that they cut the ring off, actually cutting the ring off properly. This was a fantastic way to start off the show. Wilson, what's your take on it?
Oh, I thought they were great. Both teams actually really worked together. Like, you're talking about just Kingpin and Godfather, but both teams actually really sync well, and they just both really move well as two units.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, what do you think, man? I thought this was a fantastic tag team match.
We've now, between Barrie Wrestling and today's Crossbody show, we've now seen Millennial Falcon work twice. They worked as heels in Barrie. Now we saw them as faces.
But we didn't. Were they a team in Barrie?
We missed their tag match. They've had two matches in Barrie. They did the Gauntlet, and then they worked Hot Stepper and Junior Benito, which I'm sure tore the house down as well.
But they're doing that stuff with Corey Stone too, which is awesome. But they are quickly becoming one of my favorite, if not my favorite, tag team on the indie circuit right now. They really are. They have this. We've talked about this 1,000 times, you and me, Tyler. There's something special about a tag team that is a unit. You know, a tag team that is an actual tag team, not two guys thrown together and then okay, you're going to be partners for a few months. It doesn't feel like it works a lot of the time. This is a real tag team, and not only because they have a tag name, which is one of the greatest tag names I've ever heard in my life, in Millennial Falcon. What a great name. But they just work so well together. They know each other so well. You can tell that they work on everything together. They are students of Rip Impact. And their teacher, Rip, was sitting right beside us. And you could see how proud he is of them through the whole match.
I actually, like you said, Rip was sitting right beside us. I actually asked Rip after, and Rip was an awesome guy too, by the way. Stay tuned because we definitely need to get him on the show. But I asked Rip, I said, how long have these guys been working for? Because, fuck, man, these guys are really good. And he said only a couple of years, you know. I think 2019, 2020, they were right before the pandemic they started. These guys look seasoned already. The sky is the limit for Millennial Falcon. And I just want to give a quick shout-out. Del Bruno just had his dream match against Alex Shelley, which is getting rave reviews. So, you know, a lot of talent in that opening contest, and it was a great way to kick off the show.
What promotion was that Del Bruno Alex Shelley match?
It was one out of Hamilton. I don't know off the top of my head.
We'll check that out. I want to watch that for sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Something else that everyone should check out too was the second match on the card with our good friend of the show and good friend from Barrie Wrestling, Travis Moore, the Day Tripper, going up against Matthew Grant. These guys beat the hell out of each other. Oh. They had a great match.
Oh yeah, they just beat the snot out of each other. Very stiff, but very safe as well.
Yeah, Wilson, do you like this match?
I really like this match. I think both of them move so fast and so fluidly. Like, they can both just in the ring, out the ring, up on the ropes. It's just a blink of an eye, and they're both entertaining as hell. And the two of them together, they worked so well. Like, just a cool match. It's just a fun thing.
Yeah, you can tell that these guys, they have a great tag team, a great partnership as well, and they were not afraid to lay it in on each other. They didn't have too long of a match, but what they had, they made everything count. Everything was high impact. Everything had a meaning to it. This is one of the best Travis Moore matches I've seen. I told him that after. And Matthew Grant really impressed me. It's the first real time I've got to see him work, and I was really happy with the match.
There's a reason I think Matthew Grant is known as a standout in crossbody pro wrestling. He's like he said on the last show, he's been there from day one, and we've seen today why. He can really go. He loves what he's doing for crossbody. But let me tell you something about Travis Moore. Man, I've literally been watching this kid his entire career. Travis put on his Facebook the other day how just the other week was the 3rd year anniversary of him starting as a wrestler, which means he started wrestling in June of 2019. The first time I ever saw Travis wrestle was in August of 2019. So I saw him for the first time when he'd only been wrestling for 2 months. To see this kid go from that to what I'm seeing him now, he was safety Travis Moore now, and then I'm seeing him now as the Day Tripper. And every time you and I mentioned this to each other during the show, Tyler, every single show we see him, he seems to add something. A little bit, be it a little bit more confidence, be it a little bit another move to his arsenal, little nuances to his ring gear, from the little tape on his leg to now he's wearing a mouth guard. It all works for him. He's still creating this character of Travis Moore, and I think for the longest time, I don't know if he knew who Travis Moore was, but I think he knows now, and I think we are getting to know Travis Moore, and I really, really like him.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree with you more, and the guy throws the best headbutts in the business, too. I asked him, and Wilson, you'll get a pop out of this, because this is a line right out of your playbook. I've known you for many years. I asked him after, I said, Travis, I've seen a lot of people throw great working punches before, but I've never seen anybody master the headbutt. I said, how did you master the headbutt? Because that seems like it's pretty tough to do. And he just kind of looked at me and smirked and went, well, I used them in a lot of real fights back in the day. So, and then he looked at me and went, nobody really wins with a headbutt, but that's a Wilson line from a long time ago. After that, we had a great tag team match with Impact Wrestling star Madman Fulton teaming up with our good buddy Big Ben Ortman, going up against our other good buddy Holden Albright and our other good buddy Kobe Durst, who co-hosted an episode of our show with Mike when I took a small hiatus. These guys were having a great match. I'm hoping that Big Ben's okay. It looked like he might have triggered his rib injury. Either that or he's the greatest seller I've ever seen in my entire life. But Ben, I hope you're okay, buddy. But this match was fantastic. It had great heat to it. It told a great story. My God, Fulton is a monster, and this guy is a superstar. Like, I don't know how the WWE ever let this guy go. Impact Wrestling, I'd like to see him start taking a bigger role there, especially now that Ace Austin is doing the Bullet Club thing. I think this is a great chance for Fulton to shine. A lot of people are saying they'd like to see him move into Violent by Design. I want to see him move into the Morrissey spot. They're looking for another big guy now that he's gone. I think Fulton's the guy. Wilson, what do you think about this match, and what did you think about Fulton?
I thought Fulton was incredible. It just so big and just so agile, like the way that he was throwing shoulders in the corner and able to throw that and slip out, like to get ready for the tag. He was just incredible. Like he's got a great look to him, and you know what? He's got such incredible skill to back it up too.
I gotta say, Kobe Durst really shined in this match for me too. Mike, what do you think?
You know me. You know I'm a huge fan of the Diamond Tiger. I think he's extremely talented, which is why he was one of the first people I picked to be on the show to replace you on one occasion. So yes, he totally shined. Let's not take anything away from friend of the show, Holden Albright. I think it's getting to the point now where we don't have a lot to say about Holden each show because he's been consistently amazing. Every single time we see Holden, we're no longer surprised. We'll be more surprised when he puts on a bad match. So there's not a whole lot more to say about Holden every time we see him. Ben put on a great show, other than that scary instance that I'm afraid he's re-injured himself. But fuck, if he, like you said, he either re-injured himself or he's the best seller in the world. If he did re-injure himself, man, he didn't quit. He didn't tap out. He kept going. He finished the match, and then did some aftermatch stuff. But then there's Madman Fulton, man. I learned tonight that Fulton is working without a contract, man. He's doing a pay by appearance thing with Impact. Come on, Impact, listen. You guys, you are a hell of a eye for talent. I know you are. You have the best talent in the world over at Impact. Get this guy signed. Pay this guy the money he deserves, because he's going to make you a lot of money. I promise you that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the angle they shot after this match too, with Fulton turning on Ben after taking the loss. Yep. Great storyline. I like the stipulation of this match where the winning team would fight each other at the next show to determine the new number one contender, yep, which I really enjoyed. Fulton with the heel turn on Ben after sets up a nice program there. And I got just a little tease of it, and I'd like a little bit more. They did a nice job of keeping Holden and Fulton separated a lot of the match until a brawl at the end. I'd like to see those guys lock horns. I think that would be a banger.
One-on-one between Holden and Fulton. I was going to bring that in as well. I'm glad you noticed that. You're absolutely right. They barely touched in the first half of the program, right? And then when it actually happened, it was special.
It took us to the intermission, which was, I think, a perfectly timed intermission as well. The pacing of this show was fantastic also. The match order and the pacing, it didn't drag. Nothing ever felt bad, you know what I mean? All the talent was in the back signing autographs. You heard we got the chance to talk to Fulton there. You heard that at the beginning of the show with our little show bumper that we got. And then we came back with a fun little tag match. Guys that I've never got to see work before. I don't know a whole lot about these guys, just from watching Crossbody online. HHV and Mr. Atlantis. They went up against Mark Shaw and Devin Parkside. I believe I've got those right. This was a fun tag match. I like they set up a stipulation with, and I didn't catch the manager's name, and I do apologize for that.
That's too bad because I didn't either, and he's so fucking good.
I missed the entrances because I was coming back from the washroom from intermission, so I missed the introductions of the manager. But he was very entertaining, and they set up a match for the next show, a rematch, and if the face team wins, then they get 5 minutes alone with the manager. I thought this was a great match to come back from intermission, too.
It was a very old school feeling match and stipulation. Like, that's the kind of thing that you would have done back in the day, you know, where somebody got to get their hands on Paul Heyman or Paul Bearer or something like that. You know, if the heel lost, then he had to give up his manager. That's an old school tactic. I always loved that bit. But this guy was very old school. He was an old school heel manager, which I loved. He really putting his wrestlers over, which is a kind of a lost art with managers, so which he did a great job of that. He walked around with a big sign that said cheer on it, trying to get the fans to cheer for his guys, and then getting pissed off when they wouldn't. It was great. He worked the crowd amazingly. I was very impressed. We will find out his name in time.
I also, I can't believe I missed this match because I didn't have it written down in front of me. Pretty Ricky.
Thank you. I knew. I'm like, we're missing something. Like, there's no way we only did 3 matches before intermission. Thank you for bringing this up. Go ahead.
Pretty Ricky, I believe. What was CC Lee? Is that who he fought? Was that the name?
Sonny Lee.
Oh, Sonny Lee. I apologize. I didn't catch his name either. I've never seen Sonny before. First of all, what a great entrance.
He's my new favorite wrestler.
Yes. Wilson, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. You're wearing the Pretty Ricky shirt right now. These guys were so entertaining. You can say that anytime Pretty Ricky steps in the ring. We've never seen him not be entertaining. Sonny Lee held his own on that entertainment factor, though. Very, very good stuff. I loved it. Wilson, what do you think?
Oh, I thought it was great. They, like both of them, just incredible presence and just put on such a great showing that they had you in the palm of their hand the whole time, and you could not look away. They were awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about it. Just entertaining as hell.
It was pure entertainment from Sonny's. Okay, we all know Ricky has a great entrance. We've always loved that, but then Sonny comes out, and he's just so funny and happy and very into the fans. I loved it. Did we miss another match?
No, I think we're at Hot Stepper and Brother Earth right now. There was a pre-show match, yeah. The Hot Stepper taking on Brother Earth for the Blue Ribbon title. Your boy and mine, the Hot Stepper. This match was fucking awesome. I'd never gotten to see Brother Earth work live. I love his gimmick. It's like, it reminds me of like Bo Dallas meets Reverend Devon, except instead of being a reverend, he's like, I'm all about the earth. I want to make the earth a better place, but he's a heel. He's got a great look to him. Very, very talented in the ring. Very agile. These guys hit some great high spots. The Hot Stepper, this guy's a superstar. And I'm not just saying that because, he's been on our show a few times and he's kind of our buddy now. And he's our buddy with Jonah, our little and Danny franchise. We don't talk about him a lot, okay? But yeah, Hot Stepper, I'm telling you, this guy's got that it factor. He is over like Rover. The part that I felt so bad for Brother Earth, though, he's got this beautiful walking stick, and they were doing a spot with it, and he threw it down, and it snapped in half, and you could just see the heartbreak in his eyes. He played it off really great, but I could tell that one probably really made him sad, because it was a beautiful stick and a great part of his gimmick. This was one of my matches of the night. It was in my top 3 for sure. Wilson, what do you think of this one?
I thought it was a lot of fun. Very, just high octane, just kept going, and both of them have just been incredible. And I think like you said, it was first time I ever saw Brother Earth, and I can't wait to see more. And unlike you guys, it was the second time I saw Hot Stepper, and he is just so cool. He's just got a great gimmick and a great time to watch.
Yeah, he's got that presence, that it factor to him. You know what I mean? Mike, what's your thoughts on this match? I thought this was in the top 3 matches of the night.
Just if you're listening to this, write down the name McCrae Martin, because Hot Stepper is going to be one of the biggest things in wrestling in less than 10 years. I promise you that.
I will not argue that point. And keep your eye on Brother Earth. This guy really impressed me tonight. I know, I think he might be one of Ben's guys. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think he does a lot of the training at the Crossbody Studios.
He's one of Rips.
Yeah, but Brother Earth really impressed me tonight. I was blown away by his agility. I love his gimmick, but his in-ring style, even as a heel, the high spots that he did worked. You know what I mean? He wasn't like a heel doing babyface moves. He was a heel being a heel that threw a couple flashy moves in that made sense. This was a great match, great psychology to it.
Let me tell you how good this show was. You flat out said that we weren't going to break down the entire card match by match. There's only 2 matches left, and we're not leaving those ones out. That's how good this card was. In order to talk about all the matches we liked, we had to talk about every goddamn match.
Well, then let's get to the last 2 matches then. The Crossbody Women's Championship on the line. Challengers, Addie Starr, Alexia Nicole, who is, you know how we feel about Alexia Nicole. We think that she is a superstar. And a gentleman I've never got to see work before was Cecil Nix. Is that how you say it?
Nix, yeah.
Cecil Nix, unbelievable. He was awesome. And then, of course, the champion, Crystal Moon, our new best friend, Crystal Moon, had a great chat with her.
Don't say that too loud. Steph will get upset.
Well, Stephanie Warmack is our pedestal best friend. But Crystal Moon is our new buddy. We had a great chat with her. We'll talk about that in a little bit. What did you guys think of this match? This was a fun match. I love the addition to Cecil in this match. Mike, let's go with you on this one.
You know how I felt a few weeks ago. I said I don't know much about Cecil Nix, but I found it weird to put him in this. I didn't know what the gimmick was. I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't sold on this match. I really wasn't. And I didn't watch enough Crystal Moon stuff yet to be sold on her yet. So I knew Addie was amazing. I knew Alexia Nicole is probably the greatest women's wrestler on the independent scene, but I was not experienced enough with Crystal Moon or Cecil Nix to be excited about this match. Holy fuck, dude, this might be the match of the night. I'm not sure. It's hard to... No, it's not the match of the night, but it's a close second. It's very hard for me. But it was amazing. There was a spot that I never thought they would pull off. All 3 women were on the outside of the ring. And Cecil Nix, I don't know if you've never seen him, he's not a small boy. He's not tall, but he's girthy. He's not a small guy. And then
it's quicker to go over him than around him.
That's what I'm saying. And then he's teasing that he's going to do EC3's favorite move of all time, a fucking plancha through the middle rope. And there's no way he's going to do it, right? Like they're going to rush the ring and stop him, or he's going to heel out of doing it. There's no way he's actually going to do it. No, he fucking does it. And he lands on all 3 women, and fucking poor Alexia takes a hell of a bump. She ate the majority of Cecil Nix's fucking tope suicida.
I was probably the bump of the night. I think it was the spot of the night for sure for me. Alexia Nicole, man, we always say she's the best women's wrestler, and not just in the interior independent scene, but one of the best women's wrestlers, I think, in the world, in my opinion. She might be the toughest in all of Ontario, too, because she took that like a champ. She was in there. I love the psychology and the storytelling they told in this match, because sometimes 4-ways can be a bit of a cluster. It never felt like that. They have a great story. I know Cecil and Addie are good friends in Crossbody, so they played off of that a little bit. Crystal Moon and Alexia have had a bitter rivalry, and they played off that a little bit, which I thought was great. This was overall another, sound like a broken record, but another great match on the night.
They did a great spot talking about the friendship of Cecil and Addie. They did a great spot where Cecil says, you know what, you can have it, and he laid down and let Addie pin him, and then turned it into a package. What a great spot.
Yeah. Wilson, you got any final thoughts on this one before we move on to the main event?
Oh, I just, like, everyone in it just so great. Like, Cecil's, continuing to, just be almost uninterested and dismissive about the whole thing. And like Mike said, the great spots. Oh, now I'm drawing a blank because I'm also driving. But what was it? Like a tiger bomb or something to Alex?
He had to hit the tiger bomb to Crystal.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like like Crystal Moon just blew me away, and just the whole match. All of them are great, and just the fact that it seemed like all of these people have such a history in crossbody. Just hearing the crowd talk and the crowd know what like how everyone feels towards each other was incredible. And like even Crystal said, growing up there, like just starting her career there and transitioning.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Crystal tonight. I'm not going to lie. It seems like every time she gets in the ring, she's finding more confidence, not only in her in-ring stuff, but her character is really developing as well. She has a great look to her. She looks fantastic. Like, and the fire that she shows with the big screams, like, Crystal really impressed me tonight. I want to give her a solid prop on her showing tonight.
We had a great talk with her after the show. What a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's super nice. Stay tuned, Count It Out listeners, because we definitely are going to get some Crystal Moon to be counted out, if you will. But to me, the main event of the evening, I remember watching this first when this card was announced, and it was supposed to be Junior Benito against Fuerza, and Benito is unfortunately injured, and we wish him a speedy recovery. And I just remember being so bummed out. I was like, oh my God, this could have been like match of the year. Like, these guys would tear it down. And then you get Psycho Mike as your replacement. You're like, holy shit, great job on the replacement. I don't know a lot about Psycho Mike. I haven't seen him work before, ever. I just know his reputation of being a great worker. Man, this guy is the best.
One of the most entertaining people I've ever seen in a wrestling ring.
This match is my favorite wrestling match that I've watched the entire year so far. I was laughing. I was into it. They did so many great spots. Psycho Mike started the match just by chasing Fuerza all over the place. They had like it was hilarious.
Like a parkour run. Like just everywhere.
And my favorite spot of the whole match was Psycho Mike working the armbar. And he wouldn't stop staring at the hard camera. No matter what position of the ring they were in, they would turn around in a circle, and he would be staring at the hard camera. They did a great spot where he body slammed Fuerza about 400 times in a row. This was my match of the night. I have not laughed this hard in a wrestling match since I watched Puffin Ricky and Barry. Psycho Mike, my God, he was awesome. Fuerza, of course, like, this guy is always awesome. They did such a great job of mixing comedy and building to a great match as well. This was a perfect way to end the night. What do you think, Mike?
We got to see a side of Fuerza I don't think we see often in Barry. He takes his job as champion in Barry very seriously. Not to say he doesn't in crossbody, but he was working somebody very different tonight. He was working Psycho Mike. You have to work Psycho Mike's kind of match, which he did, and he fell into it perfectly. Fuerza proved to us tonight that he can pretty much do anything. He can work any kind of match. We have seen him have those high-flying matches. We have seen him have technical matches. We have seen him have violent matches. And tonight we have seen him do a comedy match. And it worked. It was hilarious. I also loved the hard cam spot. My personal favorite thing was when he kept doing the body slams over and over again, getting the crowd to say, do you want one more? And they'd say yes, and you do it. Do you want one more? Yes, and you do it again. Do you want one more? Yes, and you do it again. So, you guys are sick.
Yeah. They did the great count out spot too, where he was like, count him out, I'll win the belt. Like, you always hear people say less is more. And when you really break down that match, you know what I mean? It was body slams. It was safe. They didn't do crazy flips. They didn't do crazy high spots. And it's the match that I'm probably going to remember, not just for the night, but probably for the rest of the year. And one of my favorite matches I've ever watched live before. These guys were fantastic. It was a great way to end a great night. Check out Crossbody. It's on YouTube. Type in Crossbody Pro Wrestling. They put up all their showcase series matches. They're putting up a whole bunch of matches that they do on their main shows. Looks like Fulton's going to be back around again. Really, really great stuff. Really, really special environment that you could really feel building. Wilson, we'll turn it over to you here as we get ready to bring it home. What's your final thoughts and overall impressions of everything?
Oh, I thought it was just incredible. I really, really loved it. I'm really glad we were able to get down there and get to it. I've got to give match of the night for me personally to like the women's match. I just like me and Mike were talking. It seemed like as every match went on, we've got a new we've added a new favorite to our list of wrestlers because just meeting these new faces and getting to see how they work were so incredible.
Absolutely, Mike. Let's get ready to take it home here. What did you think about everything tonight?
Man, that show was a solid fucking 10 for me, bro. I can't complain about anything. If I was to nitpick anything, I think your two referees need to do a little bit extra work, but I also think they're still working. I think they're still learning. I do think those are two of Ben's trainees right now, so I'm not going to shit on them. I'm not going to say they did a bad job because I think this is how you learn. This is how you do things. I just hope there is somebody pointing out the things that they could have done a little bit better. But that's me nitpicking, man. If that's the only thing I have to nitpick, it's a hell of a fucking show.
I'm going to agree with both of you. Obviously, I thought this show was fantastic, but I want to take it one step further, and I want just the wrestling world. You know, if you're listening to this and you're not in Canada, in Ontario, you're somewhere else, maybe in the States, or if you're, in a different part of Canada, take notice of the Ontario independent scene. You're getting bangers every weekend, everywhere. The Hamilton wrestling scene is strong. Barrie Wrestling is putting on top-notch every time. Crossbody Pro Wrestling, Destiny Pro Wrestling. We're not messing around over here, man. We've got an untapped market of talent that is ready to take the wrestling world by storm. If it's not Crystal Moon, it's Von Vertigo. If it's not Von Vertigo, it's Alexia Nicole. If it's not Alexia Nicole, it's Holden Albright, Big Ben, Anton, Travis Moore. I could go on and on and on. Pretty Ricky. You know what I mean? Like, we're ready to take over the world. If it was only easier for these guys to get work in the States, we'd be talking about all these guys all the time. The wrestling world would know about what's going on in Ontario. It's the best kept secret in professional wrestling. I want to thank everybody that participates on it, not only for the hard work they do in the ring, but for being so nice to us as well, really making us feel like part of the team. Had great conversations with Millennial Falcon tonight, with Crystal Moon, with our boy the Hot Stepper, with Holden as always. Just overall 10 out of 10. Check out Crossbody Pro Wrestling. Mike, take us home.
On behalf of one of the best shows we've seen in a long time, man, we have been counted out.
Say something funny, Wilson.
Thank you for coming. I hope I passed the audition.
Cheers.